Sometimes you can't get what you want without signing on that dotted line, and some people sign contracts without even reading them. Here to show us how to avoid signing toxic contracts is the author of Love and Money, Protecting Yourself from Angry Exes, Wacky Relatives, Con Artists, and Inner Demons. Please welcome Ann-Margaret Carrozza to the show.
And they're out there, right?
They're all around us. It takes 4 seconds to sign your name, but the consequences of signing the wrong document can be life-altering. We can ruin our financial security, and no amount of clever lawyering can get us out of one of these contracts.
And if you sign a toxic contract, it's going to end up being really bad for your health. So we are here on The Doctor's going to talk about...
Make you stressed.
So let's talk about contracts to keep our eyes out for. What's the first toxic contract?
The first one is a big surprise to a lot of people, and it has to do with nursing homes. Did you know that there are 29 states that impose legal responsibility on an adult child to pay for nursing home costs? And even if you don't live in one of those 29 states, you can inadvertently sign a contract obligating yourself to pay for mom's care. So right off the bat, that gives us all the right to ask parents if they've made long-term care insurance part of their estate planning. But beyond that, if we're asked to sign a contract in a rehab or a nursing home, it's very important to sign as my mother's power of attorney. So I'm not signing personally, and I cannot be held liable.
But I love your point, which is know what you're getting into. If you're going to be financially liable, know that before you get into that contract.
Absolutely.
Now, what's another type of contract to look out for?
Well, your garden variety consumer contracts, whether you're booking a wedding hall or you're having a new pool installed. A few things to be on the lookout for is avoid signing a document asking you to pay for the whole cost up front. Even if they offer you a discount, your ability to negotiate and pivot if there are delays or shoddy work or down the tube.
So you have no leverage.
They have your money, and then it's the burden is on you to get it back. They can go.
Then it's sayonara. And similarly, don't deal with an unlicensed contractor, even though it may seem like a bargain, because you have no recourse to the state licensing
there's a lot of them
agency.
out there. Unlicensed people don't realize that a licensed contractor is bonded and things like that and has insurance, but there are unlicensed contractors, and they're going to give you a much lower bid.
Proceed at your own peril. Another big one, gym memberships. I learned this the hard way. I finally came to the sad realization I was not using my $59 a month gym membership, so I called them to be financially responsible, and I said, I'm quitting. They said, well, your contract requires that you do that in writing. Okay, I'll send you an email. No, you have to sign a letter 3 months before your desired cancellation date. So it's a punishing long tail, and I hope no one else makes that mistake.
So again, before you sign, just make sure you've read that and leverage it. Don't commit to that.
Absolutely, because they want your business. They will allow you to alter it if you make a big deal about it.
And Ann-Margaret, we're running out of time, but really quickly, it's hard to use the word money without talking about love. Love and money, money and love. What's this last one we need to watch out for contract-wise?
Yeah, so my whole book, Love and Money, is about the explosive consequences of loved ones and finances. We are all going to be asked for a loan at some point. We're also going to be asked to co-sign a loan for a loved one. That could be
kids.
Yes, that could be for a mortgage, for a car loan, a personal loan, a credit card. I'm not telling people don't do this, but be aware that the moment you co-sign, the entire amount of that loan goes on your credit score, whether or not the primary borrower defaults. So keep that in mind and proceed accordingly. Some things that you can do to be careful would be to ask the lender to notify you when payments are made. This way you don't totally destroy your credit if your loved one has difficulty meeting the obligations.
Well, these are things to think about, because once you've signed on the dotted line, you've signed on the dotted line. And I know you all are intrigued by this, and there's good news. You're all going home with a copy of Ann-Margaret's book.